Yo, yo, yo. What's good, everybody? This is the XVPW quote unquote podcast, which I haven't set up yet. But soon I will. I'm about to interview a really good buddy of mine, the first made Brit in XVPW. His name is Gavinotts. Just gotta make sure that this is correct and all that stuff before I get him in. Currently working on the second match of XNW. This is correct, right? I'm actually talking to Gavinotts right now before I bring him in. Gotta make sure everything's correct, you know. We'll get started soon. Probably like 15 minutes before I interview him. Let's see if I can hit him up right now. Oh, I'm hitting him up right now. 4 people. Hey, Gavin. Yeah, you sound good. You sound good, bro. You sound good. We'll start in probably 15 minutes. 15 minutes before we get this down. Your volume is good. Your volume is good. We are live right now. We are live on YouTube. I will record this in 15 minutes or so for the legit podcast. If you guys have any questions for the first made Brit of XVPW, put on comment section down below. Let me... Boom, boom, boom. Come join the stream. I'll be interviewing XVPW's first made Brit. Boom, 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 boom. How's everything, dude?
Yeah, I'm all good.
You good? You good?
I'm off work. Well, if I wasn't working, we would have been closed by now. But I was working this morning, so easy shift.
Okay, cool. I'm going to tag a few people so they can join us. Feel free to tag and share. Get some company, you know. What time is it over there?
It is after 90 minutes past 12.
Ooh. Okay.
It's kind of early for me. I'm usually up till 5.
Mm-hmm.
The show's how well debut show went, to be honest. Compared to other episodes you've done. See, I'm the demo god.
Ha ha ha. Ten more minutes before we start. 10 more minutes. We'll start at 7:30 my time.
Yeah, it's like 351 views.
For XNW, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad numbers. Sunny. Wolf King. All right. We'll start in 10 minutes. We're almost there.
Like your software takes a while to build up, or
No, it doesn't take the fact that what you call it, it's basically live, but not.
Yeah.
So I'll record live, but then I'll technically record the podcast itself on a different program while I'm interviewing you. So
right, fair enough.
yeah. My goal is to, because I have each file separate from the podcast, so whenever I do revamp my podcast again and whatnot, it'll be on other platforms outside of YouTube. So right now these are just interviews. But yeah, man. So if you guys have any questions and all that, feel free to put them on the comments down below. But yeah, feel free to share the link and all that stuff, because I know you have your own YouTube. So yeah.
I'm doing it every 10 years. Some channels blossom, mine doesn't. Oh, I've got decent subscriber base.
But yeah, so news regarding Xtreme Virtual Pro Wrestling. I'm currently working on the second match of the card of XNW. I don't want to put out who's fighting who and whatnot, but just let you know, it's a lot of good surprises and all that stuff for the next episode of XNW Extreme Nonstop Wrestling. So pretty hype. I'm pretty hype about that. All right, 23. Cool. So Gavin, how's everything where you're at right now?
Yeah, to be honest, it's actually dry for a change. It's been nice and warm today.
Cool. Did you eat?
Did I? Oh, I'll eat in a bit. I've already mine's in the microwave probably right now.
All right. What's your favorite food?
I eat anything, to be honest.
You eat anything? All right, so give me a top 5.
I eat anything apart from killers.
Do you like pizza?
Of course.
You love pizza? What's your favorite pizza
I
topping?
Pineapple on it. I knew where this was going, probably.
What's your favorite pizza?
Ooh. Either meat piece or farmhouse.
Okay. All right, 5 more minutes before we start, guys. 5 more minutes.
That was a quick 10 minutes.
It's very fast, right?
Time just flies by nowadays. I can't believe we're in September already.
Oh my God, I know, right?
It's scary when we're already preparation for Christmas and all that, or how to deal with it. So there's COVID-19.
October's not that far away.
Do you think episode 2 will go out then?
What happened?
When do you think episode 2 of NXPW? I can't remember.
The next episode of XNW, I'm hoping to release it on the first Sunday of October. So I really did. I'm really currently working on the second match. I finished the first match last night, and luckily I have a day off today, so I'm currently working on the second match. I'm almost done with that, so I have 3 more to do. 3 more. So that's minus all the segments and stuff like that I have to do. My goal right now is hopefully do commentary this weekend for the because I remember it took me 2.5 days to do commentary on XNW, and that was very tough because it was just 2 days straight of commentary. My mouth was done, like I couldn't speak no more and all that stuff. So I'm trying to do this thing where I do commentary on the matches already. So when I put them all together, I don't have to do a straight full of commentary. So, yeah.
What's happened to your commentary partner in Croatia?
Well, she's in New York at the moment. You know, COVID and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, but well, I'm learning. I'm learning along the way. I'm pretty good at doing commentary by myself. I learned a lot throughout the years and months. I've been watching a lot of wrestling to understand decent amount of play-by-play. And good thing I know about everybody's storylines. Like it's funny. Like I'll write them down, but I have a pretty good memorization skills in my head. So yeah. All right.
The thing is with the banter that you two have, I can see the chemistry, but I can see you actually work hard when you're on your own. It's so draining, I can see.
Very, very. For sure, man. 3 more minutes before we get this podcast started. I'm going to start setting up the program. So I guess we can talk about personally about you and all that stuff. Then we'll talk about a little bit of wrestling and EFEDs, CAW, CAW, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. And I guess we can talk about your match against the XVPW YouTube champion, Corey Heck.
Whenever I challenge you.
Yeah. All right. 2 more minutes. But yeah, guys, right now I'm gonna be currently interviewing my homie from Britain, Nottingham. His name is Gavinotts from Nottingham. I tried to have your accent. I couldn't do it.
It's Nottingham. Say it like a British person.
Nottingham.
Most Americans pronounce it ham.
Nottingham. Like that. Nottingham.
I'll give you that.
I'm trying. All right, it's 7:29. Let me see. Testing 1 2 3. This is the XVPW owner, and I have Gavin. Gavin, say what's up.
How's it going, guys?
All right, let me see what that sounds like. Testing 1 2 3. This is the XVPW owner, and I have Gavin. Gavin, say what's up.
How's it going, guys?
All right, that could work. Cool. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Xtreme Virtual Pro Wrestling Network. I am Maximilian, the owner, content creator of Xtreme Virtual Pro Wrestling. And today's guest, I have XVPW's first made Brit, Gavinotts. Gavinotts, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Doing good. For those who don't know who Gavinotts is, he is from where? Where are you from, bro?
All Americans always say Nottingham. As people from where I'm from in the East Midlands, we call it Nottingham.
Nottingham.
They never pronounce that. Yeah. It's weird. They're just weird British people over here. Different accents, different regions. We're all confusing people.
Well, I like the way you say it, and I enjoy Brit. Yeah, Isn't James Bond from Brit? Is he? I don't know. Who else is
Yeah, he's a made-up character from fiction, just like me.
But yeah, I'll be interviewing my homie Gavinotts, XVPW's first made Brit, and he's actually if I was to have a top 5, he's up there. He's up there in Xtreme Virtual Pro Wrestling. What's up, JWE Wrestling Dynamite? How are you doing, bro? I am interviewing Gavinotts. So, Gavinotts, tell me something about you. You know, outside of wrestling, EFED, and all that stuff. Tell me something about you that you want to share to the world. What's up, HOH Network? Jay Strickland, what's up?
I was going to say I've cheated death, which is a known fact. To be honest, my life is very boring. It's either looking after family or working or vice versa, etc. There's not much to tell. I don't have much of a social life because of this COVID-19. But other than that, I just enjoy spending time with my family. That's about it, really. I had the right incredible person to get to know, I must say.
Well, you are pretty interesting, man, and I really enjoy talking to you. One of the many reasons why I signed you to the Extreme Alternative, XVPW. Do you remember how we met or how we communicated or how we linked up?
Long story short, I think I came across with you through the Call Central because obviously I've done EFEDs in the past. I've worked with YTWE 18 plus, COH. I know people are booing me. I can hear them. And then all of a sudden I did what was it? FPXW. FPXW was like a family to me. They brought the true side of me out of my shell completely, and basically the character that you see in XVPW is the same, similar to what I've done in different generations. A lot of EFEDs, yeah, fair enough, believed in me. I have a great few in the past with like Chris Michaels, who's a dear friend of mine through YouTube, and we just like click. I get under his skin and everything. I've had great matches in the past, obviously through like doing the promos and everything. Obviously, Steve the Gamble, I owe a massive thank you to. Everything, just like breaking into the EFED world. I never thought people would believe in me as a wrestling fan for over 30 years. I can't thank FBXW to give me the main platform to believe in the character, where I actually basically created my craft, and then when like you've seen my work in the past, that's why you thought I was an interesting character.
Okay. All right. Dope, man. So, how did you get into wrestling in general? Like, were you always a fan as a kid, or it was something you just randomly saw, or were you always a wrestling fan?
To be honest, it fell by accident because I literally was in my friend's room. I was about 4 years old, and we was literally. I thought he had like normal magazines like kids have, and he had basically wrestling magazines, and then all of a sudden it progressed from there. Then he had like WrestleMania 1 on Silvervision release, and I watched that. I was interested to see where it progressed from, and then I watched it. I watched WWF Superstars religiously. I used to tape it every single week.
Oh, you used to tape like VHS it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Those were the days. What kids today will never have this rule. All they have is scratch discs.
Keep that.
Yeah. I used to cry like someone died in my family and one chewed up. But it was like my pastime, and then I related so much to them, and weird to say, even though at 38 years old, I actually still class like wrestling as a family. Like, obviously, yeah, fair enough doing youth ed stuff, but it's like when I grew up watching these wrestlers, I see them as extended family. Because even though they are doing storylines on the product as a young child, and then you progress, and then you get to meet your heroes. Like I met Roddy Piper a year before he's passed away. I've met so many wrestlers that I've actually. I'm not one of these people say, "Oh, could you sign this?" I always call them, even though I know them by their character name or make believe name, or I know them by their real name. I always call them sir or madam. I've had no and please and thank you. Obviously, I use, and they respect me a lot more, and I get recognized for that, which I find absolutely mind blowing to say that even though I've been to signings before, I get recognized through like what no end of names in the wrestling business. Even though when I had my deaf experience,
Yeah.
like near enough 3 years ago when I was fitted with a pacemaker, I had people like Bill Apter. Everyone knows who Bill Apter is. He's a one dear friend of mine, and he's the one who more matured me towards respecting wrestling in a way, more than a mark or a smart. It's like he's the one that inspired me to do a podcast, inspired me to do a YouTube channel. It's weird that how everything's come full circle when I've actually had people that respect me in the wrestling business to say how many people he's interviewed over his career, and he reaches out to me and talks to me. It's just astounding. And people who I look up to, even though I don't respect what WWE do as storyline wise, I do respect the athletes, what they do. And when I go to signing, they know me by name because of Bill. It's crazy. But being a wrestling fan, I've always been around wrestling to a point, either if it's on TV or going to shows or conventions. It's just mind blowing. And to have this experience meeting wrestlers that gives me that break from reality, that's what I love about professional wrestling. That's why I've always been around for over 30 years.
That's awesome. How old are you, by the way?
38.
38? Oh, wow. We're not too far apart. I'm 35. Yeah.
I'll probably be some of the roster members. I think I'm old enough to be their dad.
Do you have like do you have like a favorite wrestler in mind, or top 3 or top 5?
Ooh. To be honest, I don't. All I'm saying is I cling to Roddy Piper more than a Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I was never a Hogan fan.
Yeah, because I'm not disrespecting what Hulk Hogan did for the business, but if it weren't for people like Roddy Piper, etc., paving the way with Hulk Hogan if he didn't pull him over or anything, wrestling wouldn't be what it is today. Because with the likes of someone like Roddy Piper, as you know full well, that I base my promos on him. I base my psychological willpower of this generation's John Moxley. I respect the like Jason Snake Roberts, what he does. Not what he's done recently with AEW, especially what he did in the pay-per-view with that terrifying Kevin Kingston with the pillowcase saying he's terrified of snakes and he's shaking it around. That's a bit OTT because he's banned from the United Kingdom from neglecting a snake. If people believe wrestling is what it was in the 80s, you'd be in a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like so many names. And I can't think on top of my point like the top 5 of my favourites who I've met or who I respect in the wrestling industry. You could be male, female, gay, bi, straight, whatever. You jump in that ring, entertainers, I respect you. And that's how I am. That's how I've always been.
What type of wrestling style would you say Gavinotts, the character, like what's your style? You know, what do you like? Like, do you like the flashy stuff? Do you like the technical? you like the brawler?
With me, I just like it all. It's like when I go to shows, it's weird because when I've been to independent shows or mainstream, I've sat ringside and I've sat quiet. I don't cheer or boo. I just seem like I study it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've seen plenty of UK talent that I know full well has got potential going far, and I've been right so far. You look at the likes of Tegan Knox. I helped her get her first UK match in England. I know she's from Wales, but I helped her get through like Hope Wrestling, booking her and everything when she was first trying out. She blossomed, and I knew where she was going, and she's going far, and I'm proud of her. And then obviously when she recently came out, I'm even more proud of her because at the end of the day, with me, I don't pick a certain style that I like. I just love the whole atmosphere surrounding me.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to explain because everyone's saying, "Oh, you must have your favorites or your favorite style." I like anything to do with wrestling.
I
like the heels, the faces, the trickery, the pyro that we do miss, the crowd atmosphere. I prefer what AEW are doing to WWE. The TV screen idea doesn't seem like it's working, and it's pulling me off watching it live because with my eyes, it dazzles my eyes, and obviously being late at night is the worst thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But with the TV screen idea was the biggest mistake because I've noticed a lot of people are talking about what's been popping up on the screens more than what's actually happening in the ring. It takes the magic of professional wrestling that we once loved or still love, and everyone's talking about that more than what's happening in the ring. Now I feel that's unfair on the athlete because you should be talking like, even if it's a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star match or 5-star, whatever you want to class it, it just takes away that criteria that the fans are meant to be giving, and people are abusing that trust. With the likes of AEW, I love what they're doing. They're like letting certain fans in and social distance. That's a great idea.
For me, it takes like I miss going to independent shows. I think these last 2 years I've been to more WWE, well, not WWE, more wrestling shows than ever. And it takes like I'm like you. I don't really I cheer, but it's gonna take a lot for me to stand up and cheer. Like I'm very observant when I watch a lot of wrestling shows. And during COVID, these last few months and whatnot, I haven't watched a lot of television. Like I'll see whatever they popped up on YouTube or what's trending and whatnot. But I think these last few months, I've been watching a lot of old school stuff, old school Ring of Honor from 2003 and to 2006 or something, stuff that like I wasn't able to watch a lot of CM Punk stuff when he was in Ring of Honor. So I was looking at that, or early Samoa Joe, early AJ Styles, like wrestlers who I like today or whatnot. Then I'll go back and look at their work because I know a lot. I do miss the fans. It what makes the crowd, it what makes the show live and pop up. And yeah, I think that's what I do. That's why I do miss that's why, yeah, it takes me back because I can't watch whatever's out now. It takes a lot from me. Lately, I do DVR it, so I'll fast forward because when you're watching TV, you're in the same type of style of like this is for TV. They tell storylines and whatnot. But when you watch an independent show or something like Ring of Honor, then you like, oh, okay, they're able to do what they want to do. And I feel like that's the true essence of wrestling. But I don't know. It's like I have different mentalities when I watch certain shows. Like if I'm watching a WWE show, I'm not gonna have the same mentality as if I'm watching I'm not gonna bring my WWE mentality to an AEW show, or I'm not gonna bring my Impact mentality to watch WWE or AEW show. Like, you have different mentalities. Every time when people watch a WWE show, they're gonna think of, oh, this is all Vince, or whoever's the booker, like Heyman or whoever, or it could be Bischoff at the time, or the guy from what's his name, Brian? Who's the guy from Something to Wrestle? I forgot his name. Shit, the Something to Wrestle podcast. I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, yeah, Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard, yeah, he's the booker now. So it's Bruce Pritchard's mentality or Vince's mentality. So, but when you're watching AEW, you can't bring that mentality into this, yo. Yeah.
The thing is with Bruce Pritchard, I've noticed that he writes storylines what is people cloning in movies.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the way he's doing The Fiend and Alyssa Bliss, Joker and Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people used to defend Alyssa Bliss, saying no, she had the look before that, now because of all these Suicide Squad and all these comic book movies that is in the niche market,
yeah,
Bruce Pritchard's going to latch onto it.
Whatever's trending in the pop culture, then he's going to insert it into the show.
Yeah, but it's not working. They need to find that boom period, what got them where they were. I'm not asking for the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
We know we're not going to get the ratings like we once had. We weren't spoiled with choice. Everything's on the internet compared to how it was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have anything like that, but we just need that boom period. Like when NXT first started, I loved watching that week by week. And now since it went to your platform on USA Network, I don't get to see it until when they put it on the
network.
On the network.
Yeah.
I feel like it's forced.
Yeah. I so missed it being on the network. Yeah. I never wanted to be on USA. I never wanted that. I didn't like I still think about I miss the old school days of just being on the network and that was it. But
yeah.
I even miss the whole NXT UK and the CWC Cruiserweight, like that era of like you had NXT, then you had the Cruiserweight Classics, then you had like NXT UK. Yeah. Like I miss that altogether. I'm like, oh, it's such a good time to be a wrestling fan. Now it's on the network and now it's on USA. I'm like, now you're forcing people to, you're changing up your style. Like I feel like you had a lot more freedom when you were on the network, you know.
And the biggest mistake they're doing is to go head-to-head with AEW, and it's failing. That's why it's moving to a Tuesday night, and they're looking to do it on a permanent basis. And what main event did you get last night? Tonight. I forgot what time zone I'm on then. What are you getting? Adam Cole versus Finn Balor for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 former Bullet Club members. Yeah, independent wrestling fans are going to love it. But downside is it's forced. What's going to be thrown in the mix? It'd be nice if they threw AJ Styles in the mix, make it a triple threat.
Oh wow! And AJ as NXT champion, that's actually pretty cool.
That's what I mean. If AJ Styles is free, just like have him into one in the match. You know, people are latching on what Bullet Club is. That's why they brought out the OC and what happened over prior to lockdown. They released the 2 members that you built up that people were hyped for, then you release them. So why don't you just put Adam Cole, Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, triple threat for the title? If you want to please the indie fans, they will love that. But no, they will latch on it 2 hours, 2 years, 3 years down the line, too late.
But yeah, enough of the pro wrestling talk. Let's talk about CAW. Let's talk about eFeds, man. What got you, or what started you to join an eFed or CAW call? When did you when did that happen? I want to know.
Well, I started off in YTW 18 plus. And obviously, like I've mentioned, I've been on YouTube. I've been on YouTube at this time it was about 7 years, 8 years. But I've been friends with numerous members that are actually from that roster, like Chris Michaels, David Rivera, and people like that. And I've been around them, and I was seeing them cutting these promos, and I'm like, what's going on here? Didn't know nothing about it. It was just popping up on their channels. I thought it was beef between each other. And that's how it was. And I didn't realize they were cutting it so they could actually download it and put it on the show. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at this. Because I play a lot of wrestling games. I like creating myself. And I've literally had people say to me, you should have been a professional wrestler because you make interesting promos with freedom of speech or make it look like a YouTube shoot. To the point where one feud between Chris Michaels, I raised my voice so loud, I literally had the police knocking on my door thinking I was arguing with my family.
Wow, really? Holy crap.
Yeah. I've literally had that off camera. And it was like, no, I'm just doing it as an EFED. What's an EFED? Next, before you know, I had to show proof of what I was doing. And that's the problem is, it's like, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this for a bit, see how it goes off. Then obviously I had my life-changing experience, obviously having my pacemaker fitted out the blue. And I thought, I moved companies to FBXW. Went there and everything, they've got so much respect for me. I was, like I mentioned earlier on, I still have so much respect for like Steve Gamble, etc. like that. I can't thank them enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was just used for promos or something like that, to the point where they literally made like a show like Get Well Soon Dad, like a sort of tribute show for me.
Oh, snap. That's dope.
I know, it's like little things like that, and I was crying in the hospital watching it. And 2 weeks prior to having my pacemaker fitted, I literally had a toothache and I couldn't cut promos, so they put a mask on my character. So basically I was just sitting there quiet, and I was waiting for my emergency surgery for my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after that, obviously I was in the hospital, my pacemaker out the blue. And then as soon as I got fit and healthy, I was cutting promos and then I gave it up for a bit because of my work career. And then when I reached out to you, I knew you didn't make shows often. I thought, you know what, I can fit this in. And I tell you what, when I meet different people, different backgrounds, no matter if you've done crime or anything, and the way I would say your show's done to COH's stuff and everything, end of the day, we all appreciate professional wrestling. That's what I love about wrestling. It's like, I'll say soccer for the American listeners. That brings the world together. I think the wrestling does the same impact to most people's lives, but people more than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love part of this community, being a part of a EFED community. I know I've not spoken to many of the roster members or my future feuds or whatever, but at the end of the day, if they see what I do and they sponge off me and we connect that way, that's what I love about EFEDs in a whole. And people knock it, oh, you just guys cutting promos with game footage, what's the point in that? End of the day, we're using a part to escape, and if we're frustrated with certain stuff in our lives that is going off, use the anger in that in your promos, because it will make it look more believable and make people want to tune into the product. Why do you think the debut show did better than most shows you've done already? Because you've got people that believe in the characters, to what you can do as an editor. We know you're a perfectionist, that's why it takes forever to do a show. And we are grateful for what you do. And I'm not creeping for a pay rise.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's actually very touching. I never thought of it. I never thought of it that way, but that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. EFED, I dug myself into a big rabbit hole when I got into this, especially these last few months, especially during COVID. I learned so much. I learned about people, and I learned about there's so many other EFEDs out there outside of the 5 that I regularly know. It was this, and like you said, like the debut show of XNW. That was actually, I felt that was the true essence of if I ever did a Fed or whatnot, because I work with so many different people around the world who's in that roster now. It's pretty dope to see people from different companies come together and put on a hell of a show, outside of, me choreographing the matches and all that stuff, but just to put people together was pretty dope, and you made a hell of a debut. So I guess we can kick off that. In XNW, my goodness, let's talk about that, man. How did you feel about your debut in XNW?
I got robbed. That's all I can say is I got robbed.
I felt.
Heck, you shouldn't rob the Brit. That's all I can say.
Well, I can say this now that you will be having a match against Corey Heck, on episode 3. So episode 3, when you come back to the US, you will have a match against Corey Heck for the XVPW YouTube Championship.
Good. Because if he's robbed me of a championship shot, I'll rob him of his time.
Man, oh man. That was you did make an impact, man. You I wouldn't say you out wrestled him, but you showed him what's up. You were not to be messed with. Man, you tore his limbs apart. I don't know, man. You were dissecting your opponent. You were dissecting Corey Heck in that ring.
Yeah, but did he really have to spit on the camera? I seen what he was saying prior. But the thing is with Corey Heck, you got to listen to everything clear, Corey Heck. I've heard what you said. I've seen what you like. And that's why I can see our owner putting us two together. Because I can see we're sponge off each other on programs.
Do you have outside of Corey Heck, do you have like a dream match or anybody you want to wrestle in Xtreme Virtual Pro Wrestling outside of Corey?
To be honest, it's hard to say because, yeah, fair enough. I've been only in 3 matches, but when I've actually seen, the thing is, matches is one thing, but what I've learned over the years, you have to be good mic talker to put up or shut up. That's all I can say. Is because, end of the day, it doesn't matter what happens in the ring. It's what you say as well. If you can get under someone's skin and click with them, like I've mentioned before, you know for what it's going to be golden. And I can assure you, Corey, on episode 3, be afraid.
I respect that. Corey, you're probably listening. You're probably not. You're probably at work. I don't know what you're doing.
He's probably too busy spitting on cameras. Why does that? I wonder if the thing is with Corey Heck, I've noticed. I wonder if he takes retakes. The thing is, when I cut my promos, it's in one take. Whatever's on my mind at that moment, it will come out. That's what I miss about professional wrestling when it's in the mainstream scene. Make feuds look believable.
That's true.
And that's what needs to come back. Well, oh, you've got to say this. Oh, you've got to say that. That's why they can't put themselves over.
But yeah. Let's talk about your YouTube channel, man. I guess we can close it off with that. But let's talk about your YouTube channel. How did you what? Because you do a lot of reviews. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
How did you get started with that? Were you just randomly, hey, I want to do a YouTube channel, or you wanted to speak out or get your voice out there?
Well, to say I was, at the time, I was the only wrestling fan that I knew. no one I worked with back in 2010. I thought, you know what? I was starting to watch YouTube clips, like through WWE, like people that used to upload illegal stuff on YouTube back in the day when they used to get away with it. And then I came across like big YouTubers like Stevie Breach, Yeah, Zone Battery 777, and then if I kept every video when I first started, I should have now. Because long story short, I used to review YouTubers on professional wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to shoot from mobile phone. So I used to do that, and they used to respect what I said. That's how I first got noticed. Because anyone nowadays, will find it hard on YouTube. And you've got social media. That's what it's designed for. Share the living hell out of it.
Yeah.
Make friends with other YouTubers, etc. That's how you get yourself noticed. And then all of a sudden I was doing I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a sale on Monday Night Raw. That's how it all started.
Okay.
I'll have a sale on Monday Night Raw, etc. Then people say, oh, I respect your opinions on that. You're always outspoken. To the point where I've got Wrestling Jesus doing a comedy skit over me.
Wow.
And it's still on YouTube back in 2012. I'll link it after it. It makes me sound like I'm Dutch. Don't know why. But I still talk to them, General Jerry, I still talk to. This is what I love about YouTube. It's the same thing with wrestling and soccer and everything. No matter whatever content you are, do not start beefing with other YouTubers or start shitting on other YouTubers. Make friends with them because they will help you out in the long run.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I've been on this platform 10 years in November. I can't believe it's been 10 years in November already. It's been a thrill ride meeting numerous people that want to see my stuff. And it's weird because, yeah, fair enough, I've got over 1,000 subscribers and it's taken nearly 10 years to get them. And yes, some channels have blossomed left, right, and centre more than me. But I started shooting videos on my mobile phone and uploading them from my mobile phone to progress into a laptop, start editing, etc. And I've got the passion for it, and that's what I love doing about it, is sharing my wrestling passion with everyone else. And even though I've been through a life-changing experience, did that hold me back? No. The day out of hospital, I literally uploaded a video on my other channel. It didn't hold me back, and that's what I love about doing YouTube videos.
Yeah, man, that's really dope. I respect that a lot, especially your passion for it. I think for being, because outside of eFeds and all that stuff, like, we are content creators, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel being a content creator opens up a lot of doors. Opens up a lot of doors to create and being artistic, you know, being a storyteller, getting your voice out there, getting your message out there. I feel like it's a good platform, you know, and I think that's why, I think one of the reasons why I do love YouTubing. I always tell my friends this, that if I wasn't a content creator, I would not have a Facebook. I would just live my life as a hermit, you know. But
Yeah.
something about, I was always artistic, you know. I love creating, I love drawing, and I love storytelling, and getting into eFeds and learning about cameras. Like, I bought a freaking camera, like, just to do this, you know. Cameras are not expensive. Oh, well, cameras are expensive, but cameras are not cheap, especially DSLRs. You know.
Oh, I've noticed that. And that's what I mean. I just make mine through my basic webcam on my laptop.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what people have got to realize, don't look to these big YouTubers that have made millions from this. Yeah, fair enough.
They started somewhere. Everybody started somewhere.
They can afford to pay editors. We have to do this ourselves.
Yeah.
And to put out content sometimes is quite hard. It's like, obviously, like I mentioned before we went on this podcast, I've literally recovered from a cold, and I've literally missed AEW this past weekend. Yeah, fair enough, I watched the pay-per-view. But I've missed off reviewing that because I didn't want to be coughing and spluttering on camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things where you got to put life first. But remember, anyone that's listening to this, that if you want to start up on YouTube, you start with nothing. Don't expect a lot from it.
Yeah, correct.
Because end of the day, when people say, "Oh, I'm going to make millions and all this lot like the big YouTubers," no. Don't moan if people don't watch your stuff. Be happy if one person tunes in.
Mm-hmm.
Think how many channels there is on this site active right now. There's billions. There's absolutely billions, and you've got to fight that competition to a point. But use social media to your full extent. Like share it around Facebook, even if you get Facebook blocked, like I've done in the past. I got blocked for 3 months because I shared a video.
Yeah. Damn, 3 months. Holy crap.
That's what I mean. It's like, what's Facebook doing? This one was designed for, to share our social media. God forbid what the new T's and C's are going to be in October. That's what always worries me with like Facebook. But with YouTube, you can speak what you want to a point. Because with all these corporate legislations, find your niche market. If you want to find your niche market, just do what you do. End of the day, people will click on your video without you realizing one person tunes in, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
One person likes that video, be happy. If they dislike your video, they're of an opinion, don't take money of it. If you get trolled left, right, and center, hey, I've been there.
We all been there. Yeah.
Been cyberbullied. I've gone over that. Just click the bot button. You can't please everyone. If everyone thought the same in this world, it'd be such a boring life.
Wow. That was actually really good. But anyways, guys, thank you, Gavinotts, for being my special guest today. Do you have any plugins, sir, that you want to plug in? Plug in your channel, plug in Twitter, whatever. Now's your chance, bud.
Well, all my social media is under Gavinotts. Either if it's Facebook, Twitter. Well, you mainly can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even Dailymotion if you want to see some of my wrestling vlogs.
Dope. I'll be sure to get those links for Gavinotts today, so I can put them on the description down below, so you guys can check that out.
Or I can just give you the link tree. It's a lot easier because they're all on there.
Boom. There you go, guys. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching, for listening. Like I said, my goal is to get this episode out on the first Sunday of October. You know, just like last time, I think I did it in the first Sunday of August, and it was actually really dope. I love the live chat. That's one thing I do love, is when I premiere it and people are just live in the chat. I feel like I have an audience to watch, you know. But yeah, that's my goal. Episode 2 of XNW, hopefully the first Sunday of October. Can't quote me on it yet, but that's my goal. Thank you again, Gavinotts. Appreciate you, bud. Woo!